methodology. I will briefly discuss about the methodology and the procedure applied to achieve the objective of the research, which explain about data collection. There are two types of data collection, which are primary data and secondary data. In this study, primary data occur through a questionnaire survey method. Meanwhile, secondary data get from book and journal and previous study. To explain further about questionnaire survey, there are many logistics service provider company at per industry area, and it has been picked up randomly to complete the set of questionnaire. The questionnaire using Likert scale method in order to finding the actual result about this topic. The questionnaire survey has been distributed through online, that is Google Form, and sent it to company by email. Alhamdulillah, I have got 102 respondents from logistics service company at per industry area. Next, after I get the data, it has been analyzed using statistical package for social science SPSS version 26. The analysis of the complete data will be presented in the form of descriptive statistic and inference analysis that using person correlation. Okay, at slide that the end of today can see, for descriptive analysis, the analysis will be presented in the form of percentage and table. Descriptive statistics are for percentage, frequency mean, and standard deviation. This analysis was made to look at measuring score, the composition of respondents in the study. Meanwhile, for inference analysis, I use person correlation for the study. I use a correlation analysis method to see the relationship between the dependent variable, that is halal logistics service provider, with three independent variables, namely challenges, current strategy, and prospective strategy. Next, for chapter 4, data analysis. First of all, in the chapter 4, I use reliability and validity analysis to test the item in questionnaire are significant to generate the reliability of the factor. Reliability of research is concerned the consistency and stability of the result on how the item measuring hang together as a set. The 0.70 is the minimal acceptable level, indicate a high level of internal reliability that suggests by Cronbach alpha. When Cronbach alpha is more than 0.70, the item has relative high internal consistency, and the higher score is the better and more reliable the result that generate. So, to make sure the outcome are significant, the Cronbach alpha test have been done in each factor. On the table in the slide, we can see challenges, current strategy, prospective strategy, and halal logistics service provider. Challenges, Cronbach alpha 0.862, current strategy 0.776, prospective strategy 0.913, and halal logistics service provider 0.868. It shows that the outcome for all independent variable and dependent variable in the research is significant to generate the reliability of the factor. It is because the data show that it more than the minimal value, that is 0.70. Next, I will describe some demographic element of respondent in the logistics sector. First of all, which market does your company dealing with? The highest percentage is Asian, that contribute to 43.14% of total survey, while the lowest percentage of the market does your company dealing is other of or Africa, which is 0.98% only. Second, the average total volume of cargo import-export moved by container boat in 24 equivalent unit per month. The highest percentage is 101 TEU until 500 TEU with 35.64%, while the lowest percentage is above 1001 TEU, which is 3.96% only, equivalent to 4 respondents. Thirdly, the average import-export cargo ratio and the manufacture per month. The higher percentage is export equivalent to import, which is 35.29%, while the lowest percentage is domestic only, which is 8.82%, equivalent to 9 respondents. Next, the number of staff working in company. The highest percentage is 11 until 50 workers, which is 40.20%, while the lowest percentage is 1 until 10 workers, which is 8.82%, equivalent to 9 respondents. Next, the average year of experience in logistics industry. The highest percentage is 7 until 9 years experience, which is 34.31%, while the lowest percentage is 1 until 3 year experience, which is 10.78%, equivalent to 11 respondents only. Next, the level of designation respondent in logistics industry. The highest percentage is top management, which is 41.18%, while the lowest percentage is lower level management, which is 35.53%, equivalent to 24 respondents from 102 respondents. Next, for the next chapter in data analysis, descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis is used to test the demographic part, which is the characteristics of each respondent for this study, and the data was obtained from section B. Mean is the sum of the value for all observations of a variable divided by the number of observations. The higher mean score, the more important hold to work on freight forwarder service. The standard deviation is the measure of the average deviation of the value in a set of responses around the means. As shown in table 4.2 and table 4.3, the result of descriptive analysis, which examining the mean and standard deviation, are presented based on the result for independent variable in table 4.2. Challenges, current strategy, and prospective strategy reported the mean at 3.93, 3.90, and 3.93. Meanwhile, the result for dependent variable in table 4.3 is 3.97. From the overall result, the value of mean are above 3.50 and the standard deviation is lower than 1.03, which means that all the factors was agreed upon by respondent and accepted. For the next part in the descriptive analysis, I will explain about challenges, current strategy, prospective strategy, and halal logistics service provider. I will explain about each factor. Analysis challenges faced by logistics service provider at product industry area in the provision of halal logistics. Data analysis was performed using mean and standard deviation, as you can see at the table. Based on the result of the study, the main implication that show the highest mean value is lack of collaborative effort among logistics service provider, which mean 4.07, and standard deviation 0.882. Meanwhile, the lack of government support and intervention show a low value mean, which is 3.78, which is equivalent to the standard deviation value 0.951. Next, for descriptive analysis for current strategy. Analysis current strategy adapted by logistics service provider at product industry area in the provision of halal logistics. Based on the result of the study, the main implication that show the highest mean value is reconciliably existing logistics with halal logistics, which mean 4.10, standard deviation 0.790. Meanwhile, implication of third-party logistics show a low value mean with 3.71, which is equivalent to the standard deviation value 0.981. Next, descriptive analysis for prospective strategy. If you can see, we got a 9 question in this part. Based on the result of the study, the main implication that show the highest mean value ensure our staff involved have a good knowledge and skill in halal insurance system. That is 4.09 mean and standard deviation 0.955. Meanwhile, identify your company show a low value mean, which is 3.76, which is equivalent to the standard deviation, which is 0.881. For the last descriptive analysis is for halal logistics service provider. Data analysis was performed using mean and standard deviation. Based on the result of the study, the main implication that show the highest mean value is financial constraint and high cost to fulfill the halal requirement, which is mean S54916 and standard deviation 0.972. Meanwhile, lack of government support and intervention show a low value mean with 3.78, which is equivalent to the standard deviation value 0.9551. In this part, to know about the correlation between independent variable and dependent variable, we will look at R value and value of P, or significant to tail. We can see at the table the scale of R value. If the result show 0 until 0.19, the R value is very weak, and if the result is 0.8 until 1, the correlation between this dependent is very strong. For the P value, is the probability that you will have found the current result in the correlation coefficient where it fact 0, null hypothesis. If this probability is lower than the conventional P 0.01, the correlation coefficient is called statistically significant. Okay, for the next part on the data analysis, I will explain about correlation person. As we know, this person correlation is used by researchers to study and test the extent to which there is a relationship between two variables involved in the study, that is independent variable and dependent variable. This test is used to study its accordance with the variable involved in the objective of the study. As you can see on the table, based on the table, the results show that the independent variable has a significant relationship with the dependent variable. The following are the results of a study that will answer all the hypotheses described in the previous chapter. Okay, based on the data from correlation, it will describe the hypothesis on this study. H1. The result of the hypothesis show that the independent variable challenges has a significant relationship with the dependent variable halal logistics service provider. This can be proved by the value of the person correlation R, that is 0.848, while the value of P is 0.00, which is smaller than 0.01. This means that there is correlation between these two variables. Next, for H2, the result of the hypothesis show that the independent variable current strategy with the dependent variable halal logistics service provider have the significant. This show by the result the value of the person correlation R is 0.587, while the value of P is 0.00, which is smaller than 0.01. This means that there is a correlation between these two variables. Next, for the last hypothesis, H3, the result of the hypothesis show that the independent variable post-practice strategy has a significant relationship with the dependent variable halal logistics service provider. The value of the person correlation R is 0.610, while the value of P is 0.00, which is smaller than 0.01. This means that there is a correlation between these two variables. From this result, we can found that all independent variables has a significant relationship for the hypothesis testing that's conducted.